Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about how I feel about my manual conversion and, in my opinion, how much more fun it is to drive. If you're tuning in for the first time, I converted this E90 N54 powered BMW from automatic to manual. I'm just at the point now where I can start beating on it and I'm past the break-in. So I'll insert some clips of me pushing it a little bit earlier in the day. It was pretty hot, about 92 degrees, keep that in mind. My biggest observation driving the car regularly is it sounds way better when you load up the turbos than when the blow-off valves kick in. I'm really happy with the way the car sounds. So I have a stock exhaust besides downpipes and whatnot, and I don't have the burble tune on or anything. This is just pure turbo induction sound and a little bit of exhaust, and I think it sounds really awesome. When I first commented on my conversion, I said that the car felt very natural and at home, and it felt like it was no big deal, but that was driving the car regularly. Now this car with about 600 wheel horsepower, or very near that, with the manual is a whole different animal. Not to say that the automatic wasn't fun, but this is kind of at another level. Of course you guys expected that, but you really have to be beating on it to get that type of enjoyment out of it. I love how you can load up the turbos and you just get that progressive linear pull, and you have full control over how you're loading up the turbos depending on what gear you're in and how much throttle you give it. You just know how the car is going to react. You know, as they say, it's cliche, but you become one with the car with the manual. Sure, in a quarter mile you may not be able to shift as fast as the automatic, but I never really could get off the line with this car anyway. This is more of a roller car anyway, and in my opinion, it's a little more fun to just do third gear rolls with the manual, and you're putting down at least another 5 to 10% horsepower with the manual in a given gear. I have the idle set at 900. The amount of chatter from the single mass flywheel is pretty minimal. Don't have a big issue with that. So do I enjoy this car more as a manual than I did as an automatic? I do, I'll be honest. I knew that going into buying this car as an automatic that it would be a sacrifice, but I was impressed with the automatic that came on it, especially after the Rod Sutphin tune. It was pretty awesome. I liked it a lot. And the car basically did what I needed to as a daily, and also gave me the fun factor on the side. The autos are awesome. But as a car that, my commute's kind of changed over the years. Now I only drive like 10 miles to work, and it's mostly just side streets, and I don't get stuck in traffic too often. So I could live with this as my daily, but I don't want to. I'm just saying I could. It's not that bad as a manual. If you guys are considering converting your car to a manual and you've had it as an automatic and you're not going single turbo making 750 wheel, but you just want to have some more fun, the clutch is light enough and the throws and everything are nice enough that you could easily daily this. I've been driving it for the 2 weeks straight like this. Now with my automatic rear differential 3.46 gearing versus 3.08, my RPMs are pretty subdued on the side streets. I can easily just select a higher gear. It's a 6-speed, not a big deal there. But on the highway, when you're going about 70, it gets up there. You're already like sitting close to 3,000 RPM. So that's a little high strung, but I'm sure the car's a lot faster with this 3.46 gearing. So the car does feel faster. It feels like second and third gear, it pulls like it's got another 50-60 wheel horsepower versus the car as an automatic, and I guess that's expected. I probably have another 20 or 30 wheel from just having more power available on tap because of the more efficient manual transmission, but also the way the gearing is set up, it accelerates a little bit quicker. So I could probably pull a few car lengths on my car as it was from a roll. So I know you guys were underwhelmed with my little review at the end of my manual transmission conversion video. You know, as expected, that wasn't very fun, but now you got to experience it with me as I start to push the car. Okay, I want to demonstrate one thing. If you listen carefully, here's the sound of the single mass flywheel with a 900 RPM idle. I'm going to push the clutch in now. On, off, on, off. You can hear that natural whirl of the single mass flywheel. Next up would be if I'm in gear and I'm on a hill, which my driveway is naturally a hill, if I let off the brake, it holds for 1, 2, and then it starts to roll. And I'm gonna let off 1, 2, starts to roll. So it has hill hold by default without any special coating. And now as I pull into my garage, you'll hear a bit of that chatter from the single mass. It's not that bad at all. I know some of you guys are going to ask because of how good those blow-off valves sound. They're diverter valves, as you can see. I made a video, I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested in them. They're under $30, believe it or not, and they've been holding up great. They're pretty awesome. I also have Dynamic AutoWorks Stage 2 Plus turbos, if you're new to my channel. And they're performing very well at about 24 PSI, approaching 600 wheel horsepower. I'll put a link in the description as well for those if you guys were ever considering them, because the combination of the manual and the higher boost with these diverter valves sounds really awesome. It makes the car a lot of fun. By the way, I'm filming this with my Samsung phone. I'm pretty impressed with the quality. So if this is the first video you're catching on mine, consider subscribing. I do upload regularly. Thanks for watching.